Today we're venturing deep into the woods to explore the mighty pine tree. Towering high above, these giants of the forest have provided shelter, warmth, and sustenance to humans for centuries. Get ready to unlock the secrets hidden within their rough bark and fragrant needles. We'll discover how to identify different species, learn about their incredible edible and medicinal uses, and tap into the ancient wisdom these trees hold. Let's embark on this exciting journey of discovery. Respect is key when exploring the wild. Always be mindful of your surroundings and avoid disturbing the natural environment. Now let's delve into the fascinating world of pine trees. What sets pine trees apart in the vast forest? They belong to a special group of plants called conifers. Conifers are trees and shrubs that produce cones. These cones protect the seeds that grow into new trees. Pine trees are evergreen, meaning they keep their green needles year-round. This helps them survive harsh winters and thrive in various climates. Pine trees are incredibly resilient. They can withstand strong winds, heavy snow, and even fire. Their deep roots anchor them firmly to the ground, while their tough bark protects them from the elements. These survival skills make them true champions of the wild. Before you start munching on pine needles, there's a crucial rule to remember. Not all pine trees are created equal. While many species offer edible delights, some harbor toxins that can make you sick. That's why proper identification is paramount before indulging in any part of a pine tree. One poisonous culprit is the ponderosa pine, found in western North America. Its needles contain isocupressic acid, a substance toxic to humans and some animals. Consuming even small amounts can lead to digestive upset, weakness, and even miscarriage in livestock. So, how do we differentiate between friend and foe in the pine family? Let's dive into the world of pine tree identification. Identifying pine trees is like solving a nature puzzle. Each piece of the tree, from the needles to the bark, holds a clue that can help you determine its species. Whether you're a seasoned botanist or a curious nature enthusiast, understanding these details can be both fascinating and rewarding. Every detail matters, from the needles to the bark to the cones. These elements are like the fingerprints of the tree, each unique and telling its own story. By paying close attention to these characteristics, you can start to piece together the identity of the pine tree in front of you. Let's start with the needles, which offer the most readily available clues. Pine needles are not just green appendages, they are key identifiers. Their length, texture, and arrangement can vary significantly between species, making them a crucial aspect of pine tree identification. Pine needles grow in bundles called fascicles. These bundles can contain anywhere from 1 to 5 needles, depending on the species. The arrangement and number of needles in each fascicle are important characteristics to note. The number of needles per fascicle varies depending on the species. For example, some species may have 2 needles per fascicle, while others may have 3, 4, or even 5. This variation is a key factor in distinguishing between different types of pine trees. For instance, the eastern white pine, common in eastern North America, has 5 needles per fascicle. This species is easily recognizable by its long, slender needles that are soft to the touch. These needles are soft, flexible, and measure about 2 to 5 inches long. Their gentle texture and length make them stand out among other pine species, providing a clear identifier for the eastern white pine. In contrast, the Scots pine, often used as a Christmas tree, has 2 stiff, twisted needles per fascicle, measuring about 1 to 3 inches long. The rigidity and twisted nature of these needles are distinctive features that set the Scots pine apart from other species. Pay close attention to the length, texture, and number of needles in a fascicle to narrow down your pine tree suspect. By carefully observing these details, you can become adept at identifying various pine species, making your nature walks and forest explorations even more enriching. Bark and cones, more secrets revealed. Once you've examined the needles, shift your focus to the bark and cones. The bark of pine trees can be smooth, scaly, or plated, depending on the species and age. For example, young white pines have smooth, greenish-gray bark, while mature trees develop thick gray plates. Cones also provide valuable clues. They come in various shapes, sizes, and textures. The cones of the sugar pine, found in the mountains of California and Oregon, are massive, reaching up to 20 inches long. These cones contain delicious pine nuts, a prized food source for humans and wildlife. Observing the bark and cones, along with the needles, will significantly increase your pine tree identification skills. Pine treasures food and medicine from the forest. Now that you're familiar with identifying pine trees safely, let's explore their incredible edible and medicinal properties. Pine needles, rich in vitamin C, offer a refreshing and invigorating tea. The inner bark, known as the cambium layer, provides a survival food source packed with starch and nutrients. Pine nuts, found within the cones of certain species, are a delicious and nutritious snack. They're high in healthy fats, protein, and fiber. And let's not forget about pine resin, a sticky substance with potent antiseptic and anti-inflammatory properties. For centuries, people have used pine resin to treat wounds, soothe burns, and relieve congestion. A taste of the wild brewing pine needle tea. In this chapter, we will explore the simple yet delightful process of making pine needle tea, a beverage that not only connects you with nature but also offers numerous health benefits. Ready to experience the refreshing taste of the wild? Pine needle tea is a wonderful way to enjoy the outdoors, even if you're just in your kitchen. It's packed with vitamin C and antioxidants, making it both a tasty and nutritious choice. Let's brew a cup of pine needle tea. This process is simple and can be done with just a few ingredients and tools you likely already have at home. First, gather a handful of fresh green pine needles from a safely identified edible species. Make sure you are collecting from a tree that is free from pesticides and other chemicals. Ensure the needles are free of dirt and debris. It's important to inspect them carefully to remove any unwanted particles. Rinse them gently under cold water. This step helps to clean the needles thoroughly, ensuring that your tea is pure and fresh. Next, bring a pot of water to a boil. The amount of water you use can vary depending on how strong you want your tea to be. Add the pine needles to the boiling water and reduce heat to a simmer. Allow the needles to release their flavors and nutrients into the water. Cover the pot and let the needles steep for 10 to 15 minutes. This steeping time allows the essential oils and beneficial compounds to infuse into the water. The longer they steep, the stronger the flavor. You can adjust the steeping time based on your personal preference for a milder or more robust taste. Strain the tea into a mug and sweeten it with honey or maple syrup if desired. These natural sweeteners complement the earthy flavor of the pine needles beautifully. Enjoy the refreshing and invigorating taste of the forest. Pine needle tea is not just a drink, it's an experience that brings the essence of the wild into your cup. Savor each sip and feel the connection to nature. Liquid gold pine resin and its healing power. Pine resin, also known as pitch, is a sticky golden substance secreted by pine trees to heal wounds and protect against insects and disease. This natural secretion is not only a defense mechanism for the tree, but also a treasure trove of medicinal benefits for humans. Since ancient times, people have recognized its potent medicinal properties. Ancient civilizations, including the Egyptians and Greeks, utilized pine resin in their healing practices, appreciating its ability to treat a variety of ailments. Pine resin possesses powerful antiseptic, anti-inflammatory, and analgesic properties. These properties make it an excellent natural remedy for treating infections, reducing inflammation, and alleviating pain. You can apply pine resin topically to treat minor wounds, burns, and skin infections. Its sticky nature helps it adhere to the skin, forming a protective layer that shields the wound from external contaminants. It creates a protective barrier that prevents infection and promotes healing. This barrier not only keeps out bacteria and other pathogens but also helps to retain moisture, which is crucial for the healing process. Pine resin also works wonders in relieving congestion and coughs. When used in aromatherapy, the essential oils derived from pine resin can help clear the respiratory tract, making it easier to breathe. Add a few drops of pine resin essential oil to a humidifier or diffuser to ease breathing. The soothing vapors can help to open up nasal passages and reduce the symptoms of colds and respiratory infections. Remember to dilute pine resin essential oil with a carrier oil before applying it to the skin. This ensures that the potent essential oil does not cause irritation and can be safely absorbed, allowing you to enjoy its full range of benefits. Ancient wisdom pine trees in culture and history. Pine trees hold deep cultural and historical significance in many cultures worldwide. Native American tribes revered pine trees for their strength, resilience, and healing properties. They used pine needles, bark, and resin in ceremonies, rituals, and everyday life. In some cultures, pine trees symbolize longevity, peace, and wisdom. Their evergreen nature represents immortality and the cyclical nature of life. Pine trees also play a vital role in folklore, mythology, and literature, often depicted as magical beings or guardians of the forest. So the next time you encounter a pine tree, take a moment to appreciate its ancient wisdom and the stories it holds.